Douglas Park is a beautiful rural little village. It's got a strong community flavour and it's also got the beautiful Nepean River and river ecology that we're huge fans of.
76 kilometres southwest of Sydney's CBD, this leafy street is home to around 100 residents.
Everyone's very supportive and community-minded and, just a lovely place to live.
But it might not be for long if a proposed cemetery gets greenlit.
At no point did we think that we're going to end up living across the road from a massive big cemetery, not a little cemetery, a big cemetery. And not for any weird, spooky reason, mate, but just if you're going to live near a cemetery, you should be able to make that choice.
This is the site earmarked for the Douglas Park Memorial Park. In 2020, the Wollondilly Shire Local Planning Panel approved a concept plan, but a new proposal is seeking to expand that to 37,000 spaces.
That's a constant reminder of one's mortality, which is okay, mate, we're all going to die. However, I think that to have that imposed upon you is not a fair thing.
Assessed as a state-significant development, even Wollondilly Shire Council doesn't get a say. The approval ultimately up to the New South Wales state government.
We really would like to see them reassess this proposal. Fundamentally, we don't think that what is being proposed is suitable for that particular site, and thinks that we think it needs to be reviewed.
Locals say one of the main access roads is this narrow gorge, one they already struggle to navigate without additional traffic. And just centimetres below the dirt, sandstone that will need to be crushed if bodies are to be buried there.
My main concern is the construction. I'm really freaking out about a crematorium. I'm immune suppressed and I've got health issues. So the air also got a lot of sandstone, so it's silica dust.
Like council, State Member for Wollondilly, Judy Hannon, also objects to the plans.
I'd like to see them do something else and sell that off as a bit of farming land. Leave the wombats and kangaroos that are around there alone.
There's also the associated activities with maintaining a cemetery, the pesticides and herbicides and all the other things that will go into it. And it floods over there and comes across the road and it leaks into the tributaries that flow into the river from there. So we're worried about what sort of chemicals and things will flow into that overflow and into the river.
While most residents are worried about the environmental risks, there are others who worry about the emotional toll.
You don't want to look out the window and see that. Burials taking place and the crematorium packed to the hill.
I've also worked with a lot of women who have suffered from domestic violence, and I come home for peace and quiet, and right across from our house is going to be the entranceway.
Local musician Paul Grisson mobilised action against the development, but last year he had enough, deciding to sell his forever home and move 20 minutes away where his views weren't to die for.
I spent like 2 years working on trying to stop that development. I didn't have that mongrel left in me, mate. I just didn't have any more of that in me.
Today, others have taken the baton, hoping that people power can do what council and community objections so far haven't: stop the cemetery from ever breaking ground.
Well, we're bracing ourselves for the worst because experience has told us that that's what happens. But we just feel like we shouldn't give up fighting, even if we have to fight right till the end and the decision goes against us. At least we gave it a best shot and we stood up for what we believed in.
Fascinating thing that's happening to them, because I feel everyone at home and even for ourselves, we can have this concept of, oh, cemeteries, yep, they exist, of course they do, of course they do. As soon as you get one directly next door to your house, though,
yeah,
I think there would be a lot of people who consider, hang on a second, does
changes
that bother me?
Changes the vibe, doesn't it? Apart from anything else,
but this is presumably a new problem, because a lot of cemeteries probably existed in areas way before people moved into them, so you knew what you were buying into.
Yeah.
But for a cemetery to be moved into your area when you're already there, I think all power to them to say this is not for us.
And just one of those weird situations where the council doesn't have a say. I get there are times where that's important, that's necessary, but it's just a mind-bending thing to have to try to deal with.
You know who I think is keen in that town? The florist. Yeah. They're just at the town hall meeting going, think it through, guys. It's actually a pretty good idea.
Maybe Liz out of town comes in for work. We reached out to the applicant, Benema Proprietary Limited. In a statement, they claim more than 94% of the trees will be retained. Excavation works will be in accordance with an approved construction management plan. There's more. The full statement is on our website.